clerk has been ill for the past couple of weeks. She's been off and on as far as being here, so we may have some items that will be forthcoming that aren't here yet this evening. Consent agenda. Has the board had a chance to review it?
There's not much that we can approve.
Okay. Well, what there is,
On the minutes, this one draw from our July 19th meeting
Which one?
on the speed limits.
On the speed limit. I still have that wrong?
Right here. Other than that, we can approve that.
Dan, you want to cite that correction?
With the correction on the, I make a motion that we do the consent agenda with the exception of the July 19, 2011 proposed speed limit hearing. There's a couple of corrections that need to be made on that. That sounds okay?
You've got three more that's unavailable.
Yeah, and we can't approve the unavailable one.
So basically, we just want to approve the proposed budget hearing in the closed session.
And the payables.
We did two there.
We will delete an approval on July 19, period. Correct?
And then we can't approve the unavailable one. So,
Just want to approve the payables.
When they are forthcoming, when they come, then we can approve.
So the payables, items 2 and 3 will be okay.
Okay, the floor is open for a motion to that effect.
Mike made one.
I mean, yeah, for 2 and 3.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. We'll now take a roll call vote on that. Dave?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Stanley?
All right.
Mike?
Aye.
Done. Request to address the board. Jeffrey Winehouse.
Here I am.
Step to the front, sir.
Yes, sir.
Due to the number of people that are here this evening, you're close.
All right, only 5:10.
But let's keep our comments as
Brief,
as
yeah,
possible.
you know, folks, I'm an investigative reporter, and I was just trying to figure out a few questions. You know, and God bless Kathy, I know she's been sick, and I've made some sunshine requests, and I know she just got to them, so I haven't really had an opportunity to review everything there. And my answers might be in there, so excuse me. But my question is, Leonard, the BCDC in the Dollar General store, can you tell us, I mean, I'm trying to get the story on how the Dollar General store came to be, how the transaction of the land, I hear things that it was offered to the city passed on it, the BCDC grabs it up, and they flip it over to, I mean, so I'm trying to look into that, for one, and so,
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
I got a question. You're an investigative reporter too.
we have a website called the bourbonbystander.com.
Bourbon bystander.
I also do a paper called the Bulletin. The easiest way to access that on the web is kjeff.com, KJEFF.com, and bulletinman.com, or savetelawyers.org. So there's 3 ways you can get to that. I've mainly been doing that in Jefferson County area, but I'm going to move back into the area. I promote the county. I'm an independent contractor for a lot of the different canoe outfitters. And just try to bring people into Crawford County. Been doing it over 20 years now. And
So you live in Jeffco?
yeah, currently, but I have some property in the county as well. But what I'm trying to figure out is how the dollar store came to be, and how the BCDC. I mean.
let me get you
Okay,
straight here. Normally, when there's any discussion like this, I step aside as the mayor
Okay.
and Bob Gargis, Mayor Pro Tem, takes over. But in your case here, I think we have a representative, BCDC does here, that could explain this to you.
Okay.
Debbie, would you do that, please?
Well, I didn't mean to do it at the meeting. I intended to follow you out the door.
Okay.
My name is Debbie Wrights. I am a member of the BCDC and have been since its inception. I don't know what part you want to know. I must tell you, Jeff, I must tell you that the comments on the blogs are very negative accusations.
They're speculative.
They're almost liable. I mean,
Yeah.
I've taken it very personally. Is the whole reason I've come to address you this evening. The BCDC, the Bourbon Community Development Corporation, was founded for that, the betterment of this community. The NoDOT property was for sale. BCDC bought it. We are not an entity of the city. We are a freestanding corporation, not-for-profit corporation. We bought the property after, we did quite a bit of land work and site ready and stuff. Did a lot of negotiations, and Overland Properties Development Corporation, we in turn sold that lot to. They in turn sold it to the Dollar General store and the development.
Okay. Was the city offered that property?
That I don't know anymore. It's my understanding it was for bid, was it not? Was the MoDOT property for bid to begin with? And they accepted our bid?
Okay, and the city didn't bid on it, or do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is figure out the chain of title, how it went from the state to the city.
It didn't go to the city. The city never had it.
Okay.
It was the state's. We bought it, BCDC bought it from MoDOT.
Okay,
And for fair market value, I'm gonna answer a few of your questions, maybe being a little more familiar with
Right,
some
right.
of this than what Debbie has. But we bid on it. That was quite a process. It took us roughly a year to get that piece of property. And as far as what we paid for that, I don't know whether that's, can that be disclosed? I believe we paid 151, was it? It was just a little over 151,000.
I think it was it 151 or 161-1? There was 100 on the end of it.
151, I believe.
151-1.
okay. And at that stage, then you contracted with the Dollar General store developer, and they developed the store, then sent it off turned it over to the Dollar General company then, or?
We were in negotiations for a long time, trying to find someone who could do development for us, and not necessarily Dollar General, just anything that we could bring into the city.
Yeah.
This opportunity came up. The development company was Overland Properties, and they are the ones that work directly with Dollar Generals. It's my understanding they develop a lot of Dollar General stores is what they do. So they bought the property from us, and on their end then, they had the Dollar General negotiations and sold the property. They developed the store and sold it to Dollar General.
You know, as a nonprofit, you're to have a file on record somewhere. According to the Secretary of State site, the file was supposed to be up at the Crawford Electrical Cooperative. I went up there, they didn't have a copy of it.
Well, and they should. Mike should have all that as a registered agent. From the beginning, any minutes we've had and stuff, Mike has had. Where he's put them, I don't know.
Well,
We are not directly, we don't work with Crawford Electric. They helped us start our organization in the beginning. We used some of their advice to get us started because they knew about putting together a not-for-profit and getting us going. So that was the reason his name was on there, because he was just being very helpful. When we do the registration again in August, we are actually going to change, my name is going to be on there as the registration, because Mike doesn't do anything, they don't attend meetings or.
Well, yeah, what I was thinking when I saw Leonard's name on that as the president of it, and then him being the mayor as well, I mean, is that not a conflict of interest? I've seen other minutes where they said Kathy had a conflict of interest.
If we were making a profit, maybe, but we actually have a conflict of interest policy that everyone has read. I mean, it was drawn up for us legally, everyone has read it and signed it, that it keeps any of us on the board from making any profit off of this. Any money that we got, the money that we got off the sale of the lot has gone back into, you can see the improvements starting down there now, the lot is.
Oh, yeah, you guys have
You know,
done a
all the
tremendous
money
job.
is coming back into that.
Well, yeah, I was just hoping to be able to access, you know, as far as what the property was originally bought for, when it was sold to Dollar General, as a nonprofit, to just see that everything was, you know, I don't know what's going on here, you know, I mean.
Leonard sits on a lot of boards, so I mean, you can't single one board out. He's very active in a lot of areas.
Everything that I do, Jeff, is disclosed, and I have disclosed.
Okay.
Now, let me, as a point of clarification, Overland Properties are out of West Plains, Missouri. They stepped in and bought the lot, and they're what Dollar General calls a preferred builder developer. When they finished that project, they marketed it. It now has another owner.
Yes, Dollar General Bourbon LLC, I believe it is. Actually, it was titled to. But, you know, that was one thing, you know, I mean, it just looked on its face that there could be a conflict there. You know, I mean, and as a reporter, yeah, I want to try to be fair, but I can only go on the information that I can obtain. And when I start trying to drive around and figure out where this file is, then it's like red flag, and, you know, so that's why I'm here tonight. I just want to clear the air. And, you know, I mean, I really believe that what you guys are trying to do is to benefit the city. I don't think anyone's getting rich here. I don't see anyone driving up in a Porsche. But, you know, I was just kind of wondering what the heck was going on with that property and how that became to be. It's because it's a great thing for the city of Bourbon, I think. And I mean,
Here's how great it is. In order to get this project done, we formed what is called a CID,
okay.
Community Improvement District. This allows Dollar General to charge an additional 1% sales tax.
Okay.
That flows back through the state to satisfy some of their infrastructure costs.
Okay.
Now, since the sale of this, the city has received a request to do away with the CID. Evidently enough money was made on the sale of this thing to no longer need it, but that has not been addressed at this time.
So, so if I were to go to Dollar General store and buy something today, I would pay
You will
another
pay,
percentage.
yes, sir, you will. You pay 1% premium.
Okay. Okay.
That applies only to their lot.
And that went back into the city's cost for infrastructure.
It goes to the state.
Okay. Now, did the city spend any money on infrastructure there as far as?
Yes, and we are trying to address that. It was our thoughts that we were going to get that back.
Yeah, and that was
We
part
are
of the
getting it back.
CID, right?
Yeah, we are getting it back in the form of additional sales tax.
Okay.
But it was,
The
is that
percentage.
your interpretation, Stan? That's, this was handled through a guy by the name of Darrell Gross out of Republic, Missouri, who farms these things, and they to the state. It's all done on the state statutes.
Okay. So, now what is the difference between a CID and a TIF? A tax increment financing, or, I mean, is that?
Well, I'm not familiar with the TIF.
Okay.
But the CID, we got familiar with it.
Okay, and that was through the state, was actually?
Yes.
And you haven't recouped that money from the state yet?
No, sir, we haven't.
Okay. All right, well, will the file be available somewhere to where the public can review that?
You can look at anything you want to look at.
Well, where can I find it? I mean, that's the whole problem.
Well, I think you somewhere. I mean, I'm not gonna invite you to my home, and I'm certainly not going to invite you to my work. But if you want to call me sometime, I will be glad to meet you.
Okay, I was hoping to be able to find it where it's supposed to be, for the secretary, I mean, you know, I went to Crawford Electric, you know, I couldn't talk
It's
to.
going to show my address whenever it's changed, but
Okay.
again, I'm not going to invite you to my home to come and see it, but you may certainly contact me.
Okay, so, but you will make it available to me?
Let me assure you of this, you are supposedly investigating reporter.
Yeah.
Okay. There has been nothing under the table here. There's been a great deal of work put out on this project. At no charge to BCDC. And it's gonna work, and it's gonna be a benefit to the people of Bourbon. It already is now, at this time. You, well, just to give you a little instance, the young lady that is now the manager, I visited with her a couple of weeks ago. And there was an application came in here in the city hall for a liquor license, correct, Kathy? She doesn't want it. We are a family store. Okay. So, and I appreciated her comments. We'll see if it stays that way.
Well, who submitted it, if she's the manager? I mean,
Dollar General themselves.
Okay, so the corporation.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, but it's ultimately up to the board to decide on that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, since we've kind of addressed that, and we will make that available to me, one more thing, or actually two more things. Tell me about the industrial park. I went up and spoke to the recyclers the other day. They got a great building up there. Looks like they got a lot of stuff going on. But, I mean, what is the, say I wanted to build a building up there, or someone else wanted to build a building up there. I mean, what is the standard deal?
Approach the board.
Okay, I mean, can you tell me what the folks up there now are, what they're paying and what the?
They purchased 2.5 acres. It's not purchased yet. It is leased on a lease option, is that correct?
Can you tell me the figure?
For $10 an hour.
I don't want to misstate anything. We'll give you the papers, obviously, it's public record, so we'll
Okay.
give you everything we got. And if you're implying that there's something that the city did unethically or inappropriate.
Well, I don't know, Mr. Davis.
We're gonna provide
Yeah.
anything you want to you. Right now at the industrial park, it's on a lot basis. If there's a business that approaches us, wants to put a business on there, if we can work it out where it's gonna benefit the city in any way whatsoever, we're gonna negotiate with them and try to do what's best for the city. If they approach us, recommend something, or we negotiate a deal with them, goes in front of the board, it's voted on, there's an ordinance to approve it, and then there's an ordinance that the mayor signs to, or there's an ordinance that approves the mayor to enter into the agreement. So, I'm not exactly sure what they pay, but it's on a lease purchase type of thing. And if they fail to exist any longer, the property reverts back to the city.
And so the structure or whatever
Sure.
so you guys get on all
Yes,
back and you
yes.
start over again.
Yes.
So
There are
it's
provisions
a
in there.
win-win for the city.
Absolutely.
For them to build the building and put the building up there.
Hopefully they stay in business and they generate jobs. That's our
Yeah,
hope.
sure, that's the whole.
And we're trying to make it, this industrial park as profitable and to try to get as many corporations or businesses in there as possible. And the board is open to anything, so long as it benefits the city.
Okay. I've heard that Paramount wanted to build the building that they're building up in West Sullivan there, but that didn't happen because the city didn't have the funds. Is there, can you guys talk about that, or?
I'm not exactly sure if that was actually brought up with the board.
Okay.
It was never voted on here. We were never approached with the contract, as I understand it.
Now, is there infrastructure up there now? Is there sewers and water?
I've never said it publicly.
On the lot that Spring Lake Recycling has, sewer and water are available.
Okay. But they're not roughed into the building yet, or?
No, they're not.
And that would be their responsibility?
Yes.
Okay.
As far as the wheat-based lease option, the amount of it on a per acre basis, they wound up with 2.5 acres. And their lease option payment per year is $1,250. Is that correct, Board?
That's correct.
$1,250 per year.
Yes, and at the end of a 10-year period, they can purchase it for $1
Okay, so they pay off the $1,250,
every year.
and if they're still in business at the end of 10 years, then they're good to go. And I guess that would be that would be the template for other existing ones.
Probably, basically.
Yeah, okay.
There is a cemetery over there. I don't know if you've been to their site or
Well,
not.
I just went over there cashing cans in yesterday, so I mean, that's the only time.
And the county did improve the access to that cemetery.
Okay.
There is discretionary money available through the county, which is supplied by the state, or that's my understanding. They improved that access to the cemetery, which also helped out in Spring Lake recycling.
Back in June, there was the tanker leaking. How did the tanker end up out there?
I'd like to know. I'd like to know.
So that wasn't you guys' idea.
Enough said.
Okay, so you don't know whether or not you're gonna be making a claim against the insurance company or, because, I mean, a lot of people who worked at Paramount were upset because they had lost some time there, and we heard from them. And one more thing, what is the city's
You're
policy?
getting pretty lengthy.
And I appreciate your time, and I'll be done.
Hey.
All right, and I know that I've done other city council meetings and meetings only get to about 5 minutes. But I had also heard other concerns about what is the city's policy as far as bids and services? Is there a dollar amount? Up to a certain amount that you bid stuff out, that you publish stuff? Because I've heard of some larger purchases, and there again, I'm getting one side of the story, so that weren't bid out or they weren't.
I think we start that at $500, the bidding process.
Or the board is bound by what the ordinance book says, and the code book's right in front of you, can look at it,
Okay.
and that's what the board goes by.
And that's pretty much gospel as
Yeah.
far as. All right, well, other than that, I appreciate your time. I will be trying to get with you, and perhaps we'll come see you next month.
Well, good having you.
I appreciate it.
Teresa Slauson.
No, you gotta get up here.
Yeah, you gotta get right up.